What's up, guys? Jiraiya here, and I'm coming at you with a very peculiar movie choice today. It is essentially the progenitor, the OG, the father of, or at least, the inspiration of, the Hunger Games, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Maze Runner. If it's a dystopian future where teenage kids are put in a situation where they gotta, kind of make sure there's only one person standing, you understand how it all works. This is the movie it came from, Battle Royale. Coming out of Japan. Now, what inspired me to pick up this movie and watch it? Absolutely nothing. I was going to try and be suspenseful, have dramatic effect, but absolutely nothing inspired me. I was bored on a Sunday night, and I was like, we're watching this. And it even got to the point where my wife was like peeking over, was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty interesting. And it held my attention beautifully, both because it just seems like so outlandish and wild, but also just brutal in all the best visual ways, but all the worst ways at the same time, right? Now, let's get into it. Battle Royale from the year 2000 or 2001. It's about a 2-hour runtime, and it is just, like I said, extremely brutal, right? Not to get into the nitty gritty, I'm gonna give you, right, story, back page cover intro, right? We have, I would say 4 or 5 main important characters. Our main guy, Shuya, right? He essentially just has, a deadbeat mom. She ran away on him. Dad unalived himself, so, he's not doing too well. He himself is like this popular-ish basketball-playing middle schooler. The main girl, Noriko, she's a shy girl. She's obviously into Shuya, but she essentially witnessed another main character get hamstrung by a student. He went choppity chop at the hammies with a knife, and the teacher was just like, okay, I just got cut with a knife. All right, that sucks. And Kitano is the teacher, is like, okay, I'm gonna remember that one. Then we have Kawada, right? He's the cool, mysterious transfer student, right? No one knows too much about the cool, mysterious transfer student, but the cool, mysterious transfer student knows about everything that he needs to know about. And then we have Kitana. Hold on. His name. No. That's it. Kiriyama. All right. He's the other cool, mysterious student, but he's clearly unhinged. So with that being the other cool, mysterious, but unhinged student, is obviously going to be like the most dangerous dude in the entire thing. But anyways, so with that all being said, all our main students wake up on an island, and they're, essentially introduced to the Battle Royale law, introduced by Sensei Kitano, or, the teacher Kitano. Apparently he's an agent in the manga and the novels, but here he's the teacher, so, it is what it is. And he's basically explaining to them that, hey, in order to kind of set an example, we have the Battle Royale law, where every year we pick 40 of you little poop nuggets, and y'all kill each other. That's it, right? You don't have to necessarily kill each other, but if you don't kill each other, we kill you all, right? That's it. So they're basically all sent out. Each of them is given a bag and a weapon of choice. Not choice, but like a randomized weapon, right? It's really RNG dependent. Some of these guys get crazy, like Kawada basically gets a shotgun. Some people have like crossbows, others have tasers. Shuya and Noriko get a pot lid and some binoculars, right? One guy does get like a GPS, so like that in itself is its own kind of weapon, right? It's more, logistical, but I would rather have a GPS than a pot lid. So, that's just me. But basically the whole goal is like, there is only one winner. And that's the gist of the story, right? Obviously, the thing I enjoyed about this is they're very interesting tropes, and the storytelling kind of shows off those tropes. Let me rewind. There's a lot of very well-known tropes in manga, and they are shown in this movie, and it lets me know, it gives me that little bit of nostalgia, this has kind of been a thing for a while. I like that, right? The cool, mysterious transfer student, the crushes, the girls who all are best friends, but they all secretly are going to try and kill each other. I find that all hilarious. But one of the things I think this movie did really well in its storytelling, aside from taking advantage of those tropes, is we don't actually learn up front about a lot of these students. We learn through flashbacks. Every time characters interact, there's usually some kind of flashback giving us a hint as to the inner workings of each character. And I thought that was a very brilliant way to go. And for a movie like this, you would think it would just be all about the violence, because at least in the movie versions of Hunger Games, you don't actually learn too much about the other tributes, right? You just kind of know, oh, he's a dick. I'm not going to be sad if he's gone. Obviously, the books are different, but we don't get that insight as far as the visual depiction and the movie depiction, right? Here, it was just enough that it's oh, okay, you care at least a little bit. You feel a little worse for every fallen student, but as you continue, it's all right, it sucks that you guys had this kind of cute moment. And some of these tropes, like I said, it's always the silent crushes, the cool kids, and they're all revealed through these flashbacks more so than the actual moment at hand. But then it makes the actual moment at hand a little bit more interesting because of the flashbacks, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a never-ending circle. But anyways, overall, I thought the story it's not the best story in the world, but it was certainly entertaining. The movie itself, I was gripped, right? And, lots and lots of manga tropes or Japanese tropes that you would see in a high school manga that it's this isn't a manga, but it's from Japan, and I love that these are here. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel safe up until the moment they're not alive anymore. But anyways, story-wise, very interesting. I'm going to give it a solid 7. Now, as far as the action scenes, the visual effects, it was fantastic because it was almost exclusively I can't think of the word. You would think a guy who loves movies would know what the term is. It's not CGI, but the practical effects. Oh my gosh, thank you. Gosh, I thought I was gonna have to do another take. But the practical effects were fantastic in that stylized Japanese way, right? Definitely Kill Bill took some inspiration from it with the exploding arteries and blood and all over the place, but also the sheer brutality of some of the kills. There was, if you've seen this movie, there's one part where a certain individual is getting stabbed in a certain place, and I was jaw dropped. I was this was in the year 2000? I understand why this was so controversial. That's insane that they put that on there. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. But it also goes to show that you don't need a hell of a lot, to make a very visually appealing movie, right? I hate a lot of modern CGI effects. Not all, but a lot of them, it's okay, I can clearly still tell, I'm not gonna be that guy who's groaning on and on about modern day effects, but man, the practical effects here for what it was beautiful, and I love that, and I wish we could get more of it, right? So visual effects, whether it was the action scenes, it was the blood and the gore, bro. 8 out of 10 for sure. Obviously it's a little dated, so I can't give it the peak, right? But fantastic, man. Great job there. Audio, the soundtrack, for me, wasn't the most memorable thing, but I honestly wasn't paying attention for the soundtrack, so I'm not going to go and rate the soundtrack. I'm just not, I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to do so we're going to skip over that. But the main reason I really wanted to talk about Battle Royale is because it was just a great sense of nostalgia that even though I've never watched it before, it gave me this sense of nostalgia that oh man, like more so for the tropes, if that makes sense. Like the tropes that I see in manga, in other J dramas, K dramas, Japanese movies as a whole. The tropes of like I said earlier, you have the cool transfer students, you have the lovebirds who have one of them might be like an unrequited love. You have the school bully, right, who secretly a tsundere. You also have the girl who's, you know, bullied because everyone thinks she's that girl, but she's not. And then, you know, we get a little bit more into the backstories of some of these characters through the flashbacks, and you find out it's like, oh, this isn't just a surface level. I mean, to a certain degree it is, but it's to say it's just a surface level, like gore for gore's sake movie, I feel like would be very disingenuous, and I feel like would be an unfair depiction of what Battle Royale really is. So that's why I say, like, hey, as much as, like, yes, it is a gore fest, I'm not going to say it's not. There's a lot more hiding just under the surface, even if it's not the most substantial thing. It's not the most, like, philosophical, philanthropic story you're ever going to hear, but it's like, you understand why some of these kids feel a certain way about, like, doing the things they're about to, obviously, like, they're all going to die if they don't do what they were told to do. But, like, some of them kind of pick the ball up and run with it because it's like, hey, these people were already terrible to me. I don't feel bad for doing this. Others like, I feel bad for doing this because, hey, this is what's going on in my life, and I don't want you to have to feel that, or the people around me to feel that, right? Again, is it a gore fest? Absolutely. But is it just a gore fest? I feel like is still very disingenuous. And honestly, I have to give this movie, if we're going to rate it, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10, really. Yeah, let's go with that. 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to put it right here. Anyways, what a fun movie to watch, like a throwback if ever I was one. That's how I know I'm getting old, because the year 2000 is a throwback. That's 25 years ago. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm getting old. I'm turning 30. But if you enjoyed this, right, or you know, you're interested enough, go watch the movie. Or if you have watched the movie, let me know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you know, it helps me out a ton if you guys would like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to put it right here somewhere. I'm trying to be a little more interactive. But let me know what you guys think. And like I said, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Jiraiya, out.